Lisa from Lady Norway Energy Healing, just popping in. It's Sunday, June 11th, and so where we are in my neck of the woods, we are having Cameron Lake Bluffs fire. We're pretty close, we're about 6K from it, and I put a little video out together. I don't have a lot of footage of like the fire or anything like that. I mean, it's all over the internet and all over the news, and so, but just have a couple things that I put together. Just for like just ourselves when we were going and checking it out and stuff like that. But it's pretty stressful. So we just kind of, I didn't want to get too, it's just hard living with it so close and just the unpredictability of it and stuff like that. And being that it was so hot and dry, we've had a real drought here, and yeah, it's just really close, too close for comfort. But, it's part of what's going on with the way the world is, and climate change and hotter weathers, drier springs, and it's kind of like what's for dinner. It's what's happening. So we need to be aware and really careful and be really safe out there in the woods. And I mean, yeah, it's just tinder dry out there. And so on the 9th, we had some rain. I was very happy to have the rain come, and it's changed up the energy around here for sure. It just kind of like freshened everything up. But today's the 11th of June, and it's a Sunday, and so the Highway 4 is still closed. It's really quiet around here. It's kind of like a weird thing. We're so used to having that. We're really close to the highway, so we hear it a lot. And just these last few days with it being closed, it's just been kind of eerie a little bit. It's actually, well, it's just different. Sometimes it feels weird. Like when we were looking at the fire, we were like, "Ugh, this is so weird, so quiet," And then without having any traffic, and then having the big plume of smoke and having it so close, it was just a little bit of an eerie feeling. But it's actually kind of nice to have no traffic noise. But it's so hard for people that live over in Port and the West Coast, and I really have a lot of compassion for everyone that's going through all that over there. It's a scary time, and I just hope that everybody is okay and it doesn't, get any worse, and that things start to turn around for everyone. And you see stuff about panic buying, and everyone's buying up meat and dairy and toilet paper and all that stuff because everyone's afraid. And it's okay to be afraid, but we have to think about each other in these situations, and we all just have to kind of pull together and think about each other and how we can help each other, and instead of just trying to look after ourselves. It's so easy to get caught up in all the fear. But yeah, so that's a bit stressful. But it seems like these are all these kind of things that just happen for a reason. Like that road to Port Alberni is just the only road in, and it has some spots that are really sketchy, and people use that every day. Taxpayers, people that go to work every day and help keep the ball going, help keep the wheel turning, and it's risky, and so it needs to be dealt with. And maybe it wouldn't have never been dealt with if this didn't happen. So it's one of those things that just was, just fortunately nobody's hurt. And yeah, and then with the fire just kind of burning up the bluff and up the south, sort of it's moving up the slope, sort of away from the east and the west side of the fire are being kind of contained, but it is still growing up, but it's not growing into anything. But there's these fires that are happening across Canada. Like, my God, the one that been in the interior of British Columbia at Tumbler Ridge, like the amount, the size, the amount of people that are being affected, like this is like kind of nothing compared to that. But it's just a little taste of, you see these communities being burnt out, and of course that's the first place you go. But we just got to keep putting out good vibes and good energy, and really hoping and praying, and doing whatever it is that we can to just keep keep it high vibe, as we can. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with saying, yeah, I'm afraid, or I'm, you know, and, you know, but we just can't, we can't stay there. We can't live there, because that's not helpful for the whole, for the collective. It doesn't help. So I'm just really grateful to all the fire response that we've had. And, you know, some people are talking about like, oh, they should have done more, and why weren't they here sooner? And believe me, I had, when that first, you know, that Sunday after, it was like, why is there only one helicopter if there's a fire in the hill over there? But, you know, then you have all these other things going on. Like, there's so many huge, much bigger and way more dangerous fires happening in other places. And I mean, these people, I mean, it's what they do for a living. They sacrifice their lives almost to go and do that kind of stuff. And I just am so grateful for them and to them. And I know we're only working with what we have, and the powers that be, the governments and people in charge and stuff, we just have to like work with them, and we just have to, be cool, and, you know, have compassion, and try not to get too upset. But I know it's difficult when you're right in the thick of things, and it's really, really scary and really hard. And you think about all the things that you have, your land, your house, your animals, your, you know, all that stuff. It's scary. I mean, I've got my animals. We've got a dog and a cat and another cat. My son has his cat. And yeah, like, not great to think about having to move them and stuff. But it's like, you know, we don't have like tons of horses or cattle or, you know, farm animals or stuff, like where some people have a lot going on. And, you know, I just send everybody so much love and so much light and protection, and, you know, just wish that everyone's safe and that everybody's going to be okay. And that's all I can do, you know, and obviously take action where I can. And, you know, we've packed little bags of some stuff, but, you know, you recognize that it's just stuff. It's just stuff. All we have is stuff. And what's more important is each other, and, you know, being safe. And you know, so if something was to happen, you just recognize that it, you know, all this stuff doesn't matter, really. It doesn't. So the bigger picture is that, you know, our safety, and to being together and having family and, you know, friends, and keeping each other safe and stuff. That's what's important. So that's what I've gotten from all this. But yeah, I can't really say that I've been, you know, at my best at times. I was pretty scared at one point there. But yeah, I'm just kind of getting more accepting to the fact that, you know, this is part of it, and we just have to be aware, and we have to have things in place, and plans in place, and strategies, and things that if this happens, which it's probably going to happen more and more, let's face it. Yeah, we just have to be prepared for it. And that's all we can do. So yeah, so anyway, June 11th, 2023. So this is a little bit of the astrology for today too, is a Mercury has now gone into Gemini. So that could be a good thing. And we also have Venus has entered Leo in, that was the 5th of June. Has been involved in a tense T-square with an opposition to Pluto, which is retro in Aquarius, and Jupiter in Taurus, which can feel like you're dealing with an overwhelming situation that is requiring deep change and evolution. Well, a discomfort is present, as well as possibility that you're feeling stuck and anxious about the next steps, or resisting the next level changes that the universe is requiring. And then we have Pluto will be going back into Cap, and that's today as well, Capricorn. So that's what we had with that, just at that new moon eclipse. Aquarius had, Pluto had gone into Aquarius, so we had a little taste of what it would feel like for the next 12 years, or is it the next 12 or the next 20? Don't quote me on it, but anyway, it's what, you know, the next, at least what it's going to be like. Whatever you've put into motion or set in place at that point, that's what's going to be sort of nurtured and grown and developed into the next, you know, I think it's 12 years, or maybe it's 20. Anyway, it's for the next little while. Let's just say that. So that's exciting. Maybe it'll feel a little bit weird now that it's, you know, kind of gone back into, Pluto's gone back into Capricorn. Maybe be back to feeling a little bit more of the rigidity and sort of structure, and like, I don't know, maybe a little bit more constricting or whatever, because of Capricorn and how it feels compared to Aquarius. And yeah, so that's going to happen, I think, until, is it October, Mike? I think it's October, and then back, and then into the new year, and it'll go back. Pluto will move into Aquarius. And there's also Saturn is in Pisces, and it's making a beneficial sextile to Jupiter in Taurus, and that will be, both planets will be at 7 degrees from June 19th to the 23rd. So that's coming up, and that sounds pretty great. And it's just being able to stay open to, things that you have coming through. And as you responsibly honor that, what you need to take care of and or complete, because Jupiter and Taurus will reveal the next opportunities and manifestations. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so today we've got Pluto going back into Capricorn, and also we've got Mercury enters Jupiter. Mercury enters Gemini today. So maybe that's why I'm blah, blah, blahing so much, because it's, the planet of communication. But Venus in Leo has the energies of how you love and accept yourself, your self-worth, your creativity, your personal expressions, confidence, strength, and how those qualities create what you want and desire in your world. As Venus moves through Leo, she will have a notable interaction with all the outer planets, which will require her to receive their influence and let go of her expectations, as her evolutionary process is going to involve many messages. Yeah, so there's that. And I guess we've got a new moon coming up on the 18th, and that's in Gemini. So that's pretty cool too. That's what's happening right now so far with the stuff. But it was funny when I was thinking, like, I took I had this reading on the 9th, and I kind of took the information, and it was like, take a nap, take a break, slow down, stop freaking out. Basically that's what it was. Don't stop trying to control everything. Just try to think about things, good things, because what you think about, what you're putting your energy into is what will grow. And so when you're freaking out about fires and stuff like that, you don't want the fire to grow. So it was like I took that advice and just kind of like calmed down a bit. And but when things come to you, it's interesting. So I got a really cool text from my girlfriend today, and it was from, it's like the galactic star seeds. I don't know exactly where she gets it from, but it was very cool, and just kind of reinforced, it was so much what I needed to hear, just about like, where we're at, and how to just keep moving forward, and things are coming into now with light codes and frequencies are being downloaded, and it's hard on us, it's hard on our bodies, and we just have to be patient with ourselves, and really look after ourselves and be gentle with ourselves as the process is happening, because lots of things can happen when that's going on. Because if you're upgrading or frequencies are being upgraded, more light's coming into your body, you can have, like, it obviously shakes out old things, and could be uncomfortable, and you could just feel like not yourself, and situations come up that need to be released and healed and that sort of stuff. So that's coming, but it's like it's happening for your highest good, so that it's okay, it's going to be fine. Just have faith that things are happening for your highest good, and that you trust, and that you just surrender to that. And so that, I thought that was pretty cool that I got that information today. And yeah, and then also too, the cool thing about the starseed thing is, like, talking about the universe, and it being like it's home to us, and how we feel so drawn to it because it is our home, and how we can kind of feel the help and the support from the cosmos and the universe, and how that resonates, and how it so resonates with me. Like, it makes sense. Like, there, and when I was taking a break and having a rest, and just doing some meditation, and it came to me, it was like, you know, when you talk about when people pass away and they talk about wanting to go home, and it just made sense. Like, I had got this text from my girlfriend, and it talks about it like being so much, like, we're so familiar to it. It's such a part of us, our soul. It's such a huge part of our souls. And that it's about, like, when you think about going home, and like how sometimes you feel like when times are tough or whatever, you just want to go home. And it just really kind of was like this real eye-opening kind of thing to me, like this epiphany about, like, it makes sense. Like, that's where you go. That's where your soul came from. That's where we came from when we incarnated in this, you know, this plane of existence. When we came here, or this, we chose it. We asked to come here and have these things play out, and you know, these are our soul contracts, and running into people and having people in your lives, and children and family and friends and situations, and they're all here to teach us stuff, you know. And I just found that was just really wild, like talking about home and wanting to go home. And I remember when my grandmother passed away, one of my mom's cousins, one of my mom's first cousins, she plays the guitar and sings and stuff, and she had this beautiful thing that she talked about, like when she thought about my grandma, she had like a vision or something about just my grandmother's like soul being shot up into the cosmos and into the universe and the Milky Way, and just like her being a bright light and speeding so fast back up into the sky, and like being that star that she was before coming into this incarnation. And I was just like, it just all just sort of came together for me when I had this little thing about you know, like going home, and that being home to us, to our souls, the universe, the cosmos, our little bright lights, our little star lights that are in each and every one of us. And yeah, no wonder why we want to go there and go back there. You know, that's what we came here to do, this work and do this job and learn what we need to learn, and then head back home, and then, you know, to do it again or go to the next level. Or anyway, it just made me really think about that. And I just thought it was pretty cool that, yeah, I got the starseed thing and from my friend, and then I had already had that sort of thing come to me about going home, and you know, when someone passes away, and talking about them going home, like that's the universe, that's our soul's home, like, and we're part of it, we're all part of it. It's just amazing how connected we all are. And yeah, anyway, that was an epiphany that happened to me. So, but yeah, and so anyway, I'm going to do, I have a deck that is a starseed deck. It's the starseed, what is her name? Starseed Oracle? Starseed Oracle. So I'm going to pull a card from there, and I'm going to do a blessing. And the blessing is going to be for the people that are going through this fire stuff, and the firefighters and all the people that are affected. I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull a card for a blessing card for that. And yeah, you know, you just try to be like, you know, just keep doing the things that you're doing, and keep, you know, trying to be normal, you know, normal day-to-day stuff. And all the while there's this thing running in the background, right? And it can be unnerving, but you just gotta just try to keep a good vibes going. So yeah. guess I should probably figure out what that woman's name is, or her name. Rebecca. Anyway, I'll put it in the description. But, you know, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. So, I got the starseed oil. I think it's appropriate for the times that I had this little download about the universe being home and why people go home, like when they pass away from this, you know, the physical to the non-physical, going home back up to the stars. And talk about our lights and shining our lights, and we're all stardust, right? We are golden, we are stardust. Is that the song? The Woodstock song. Anyway, little starseed oracle. This is such a beautiful deck. The artwork on here is gorgeous, and the vibe is very high, and it feels, it's like feminine kind of vibe. It's beautiful. Rebecca Campbell. See, it came to me. Yeah, she has a few decks, but this one I love. Okay, so what do we need to hear today? June the 11th, 2023. Starseed oracle. What do we need to hear today for our highest good? Oh, thank you. That one just popped out. Star Brothers. I was just saying it was like a feminine type deck, but there's the masculine. Star Brothers. Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. That feels good. And a blessing. A blessing for everyone that is affected by all the fires, for the firefighters and all the people that are out there serving us and doing all that hard work to try to keep everyone safe and to keep everything safe. I'd like to pull a blessing for them. It's a blessing for them. Blessing. A blessing for all those hardworking people, all those people on the front lines. And all the people affected by the fire. What blessing do you have? Blessing on a homecoming. Well, that's good. A blessing, number 44. A blessing on a homecoming. The Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And the artwork's by Danielle Noel. Star Brothers. Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. You're more protected than you can even imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. You're being called to be open to receiving a new level of support now from those in your life and from the benevolent beings you're connected with. Through ancestral patterning, current life traumas, and past life karmic impressions, many of us have become mistrustful and suspicious of loyalty and have blocks when it comes to receiving support. We've learned that we need to go at life alone. that it is not safe to let our guard down and open our hearts, that the world isn't a friendly place. The Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on Earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, even if you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them, to see them as opportunities to let in more love. They're guiding you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support than you can ever imagine, both in this world and beyond, to call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. They want you to learn to soften through life's ups and downs, and to learn to open your heart, especially when it is most wants to harden. That's very good. That's a very good one. And the Star Seed Soul Inquiry, there's a little inquiry that she has on each one of these. It's how can you open yourself up to receiving more support? Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. Star Brothers. There we go. That's a gooder. That is a gooder. Yes. And there's the card. It's beautiful. I love the artwork on these too. A blessing for a person who is returning home after a time far from their family, friends, customs, and communities. Homecoming is often anticipated as a kind of perfection, the imagined cocoon of comfort we visualize returning to, the embrace of a mother's arms, the sounds of voices you know, like your own, the welcoming hearth in front of you, which the tales that create family and bonds will be told once more when you return. But often homecoming can be a collision between the imagined home we foresee ourselves returning to, which is in truth a living thing, and thus will have gone through its own evolution during our absence. And likewise, we have changed during our time in the world, and so our coming home can highlight our own new and untested difference. For the returned veteran, the seeing of their old self in the concerned eyes of relatives. For the new mother holding a child in her arms, her homecoming can be a sense of seeing the home through new eyes. Or the traveler home from a true adventure, coming home can seem ordinary, a return to an unwanted reality of jobs and bills, and to a pilgrim child, coming home can be a time of safety after a chaotic time of self-discovery and hardship. Whatever brings us home, it never brings us back the same as who we were when we left its borders. For home is another country, a time, and a place, and when we drew upon its comfort while on the road, it too was quietly changing. This blessing is for your homecoming. It's making me emotional. For it to be one which is open to who you have become. Joyous in the discovery of the changes you have made willingly, understanding of the hurts that may have happened along the road and the paths your journey took you down. May you bring to your home the light of your soul and let your presence illuminate the home, making it new and warm once again for those who have waited for your return. Let everything be familiar and soothing, yet no longer memory's gift or nostalgia's promise. May home be full of smiles and embraces and warmth, but most of all, a sense of your place being finally filled, because the truth is that your home was no longer truly home without you. And only your return has filled the void. Let home sanctuary bless you with the safest place on earth. And let the home be filled with the laughter and love of kin and friend, until you can integrate who you have become while you were away with who you are now and that you have returned. May your homecoming be blessed with the open arms of those who have missed you. And let the rediscovery of you outshine who you once were. A blessing, dear friend, wanderer, on your homecoming. May it bring gladness to your soul. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. It's perfect for the times. It's perfect. Yeah, perfect. Just blessed just really hope that everybody can have a good homecoming. Hey? So there it is. Star Brothers and a blessing on a homecoming for what's going on right now with the fires and everyone that's being affected. It's perfect. Can't make this stuff up. So there you go. I hope this finds you well. Good luck, everybody. Stay safe out there. And let's remember to just keep putting out good vibes and, you know, looking after each other. That's what we can do. So let's do that. Okay. Sending you so much love and light. Ciao for now.